Let me take a sip of my drink first. I will be 30 years old in about 3 weeks.
Few things are as powerful.
Few things are as powerful as love.
What is going on, beautiful people? You are listening to the Affirmations for Black Girls podcast, where we focus on personal growth and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. I am your host, Tyra, the creative actress, content creator, and mental health enthusiast. And today's episode is, we've done these in the past, but today's episode will be a reflectionary episode. I'm about to turn 30 in about 3 weeks, and not gonna lie, it has been a little stressful. I have been very nerve wracked and I'm a little nervous. So I think today is the perfect time to do some reflection. But before we jump all the way into the episode, let's jump into our affirmation of the week. This week's affirmation is, I am grateful for the life I have. Ooh, gosh. Let's go ahead and drop in, y'all. I am grateful for the life I have. 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 Let's say it one last time together. I am grateful for the life I have. Oh, Lord, y'all. I don't know. I'm feeling a little weird. And I chose this affirmation for this week because I have been feeling a little yucky. And I think it's mainly because, by my personal standards that are honestly not realistic at all and not based on anything other than what I want in my brain, I am not where I want to be in life. And every time I hit a milestone birthday, I feel this way. And it is okay to feel. It is actually important that you do feel. And I spent so many years not feeling, trying not to feel, running away from my feelings, suppressing. I am just honestly sitting in my feelings these days. So we've done this before, but today we are going to bring back our self-reflection, We're Not Really Strangers card game. Now, if you're new here, we do these decks all the time. We've done honest dating, we've done the breakup edition, all of the regular cards, like the original cards that come in the deck. But We're Not Really Strangers is a game of depth, and there are 3 different levels. There's perception. What are the other ones? Well, in this one, they don't have it, but there's like perception and then 2 other ones I can't think of off the top of my head. And as you can see, I just took the deck out of the packaging. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, hey y'all, I'm glad to see you. But if you're watching over on your favorite listening platform for podcasts, feel free to stay over there as well. So yeah, long story short, I'm feeling a little interesting right now, and I don't want to continue being performative in the content I create. I want to be authentically me. And right now, while I'm grateful for the life that I have, I am feeling a little down that I don't have some of the things in life that I would want by the age of 30. And I look at friends who have those things and people who I look up to who have those things well before the age of 30. And I'm just like, God, why? And it's okay to have those questions, but what is not okay is to let those feelings of unworthiness or whatever else you're feeling make you do crazy things. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to do like 3 questions today. And as I always say, one, I'll link these down below in the show notes. This is a self-reflection deck. The one that I got came with a journal and a pen, which was super dope. But they have a lot of different decks. If you have kids, they have decks for talking with kids, which I think is very dope. There's some for couples, some for honest dating. If you're getting back out there dating, there's the breakup edition. If you have just experienced a breakup, these are great thought starters, and I think they are a great tool for journaling, especially if you have hit a lull in your journaling or you are just getting into journaling and you don't really know what to put down on paper. Your thoughts aren't really coming to you. So, like I said, they'll be linked down below, but let's go ahead and jump right on in. Card number 1. What do I keep doing that keeps hurting? Why do I keep repeating this behavior? I don't know if I'm going to make it through this episode, y'all. I'm not even going to lie because I have just been feeling kind of shitty. Excuse my French. I have been feeling kind of down. But I really want to be authentic. What do I keep doing that keeps hurting? It doesn't say me or other people. I'm just going to say, what do I keep doing that keeps hurting me? And why do I keep repeating this behavior? I think I keep getting into this phase in life or this season or this stage in life where I just kind of allow things to happen without really thinking about what my next move should be. I kind of just go on autopilot, and that keeps leading me to very frustrating situations. And in turn, that keeps on hurting me. And I think I keep doing that because I'm a very non-confrontational person, except in romantic relationship. And even then, if I feel a certain way about you or if you bring out certain parts of me, I do become non-confrontational. So from an overall standpoint, I would still say that I'm non-confrontational. And it keeps putting me in situations that I don't want to be in. I never say, I don't know how I got here. I know exactly how I got here. And I'm pissed off that I'm here again. And yeah, that keeps hurting me. But it's like, what do I do to stop hurting myself? How do I get out of this cycle? For me specifically, I'm going to give an example. I keep ending up in situationships with men, and I know they aren't going anywhere. And I try to convince myself that I'm in control here. Like, I don't even want it to go nowhere. I don't want to be with this man. Girl, you lying. Quit playing. Because you are saying that so that you don't get hurt, but you really like this man. And you would love to be with him. But he is only breadcrumbing you. And if you don't know what breadcrumbing is when someone gives you enough of them to keep you hooked, but they don't give you all of them. And the moment they see you either starting to pull away or the moment they don't have anything else going on and they're bored, they breadcrumb you a little bit more just to keep you close. But they never see you as anything other than that duck that they feed them breadcrumbs to. And I've been being breadcrumbed. And I've been being breadcrumbed for a minute. And I know that I have. And it's not okay that I pretend to be okay with that. Like, I say that I'm okay with it, but I know deep down I'm not okay with it because I wouldn't be frustrated right now. I wouldn't be upset when that same man keep acting the way that he been acting, you know? So I keep going on autopilot and I keep allowing things to happen that I know I do not like because I'm a non-confrontational person in that way. And I was just thinking about this morning. I want to start being more confrontational because I am my biggest advocate. I need to advocate for myself in any situation. I need to make sure that my voice is heard and I need to make sure that my boundaries are solid. I need to make sure that I am firm in my boundaries. I need to make sure that I am confident in my boundaries because it ain't nobody's job but mine to uphold my boundaries. And the first thing that I have to make sure is in place is self-confidence and self-love. Because if I was confident in myself fully as a whole woman, as someone who desires to be married, someone who desires to have a family, I wouldn't have let this little dusty boy breadcrumb me for a year under the guise of me being okay with it, being okay with something casual, because I know I'm not. And it's crazy that we do that to ourselves. So that is something that I keep doing that keeps on hurting me. Y'all, I'm drinking this really good cherry limeade right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. But I literally made it from cherry syrup that I made for my birthday cake. I had a birthday photo shoot and I made a cake for it because I'm extra. And a little bit of lime, like lime juice, and then just plain sparkling water that I made with my soda stream. It is so good. The perfect cherry limeade. You got to make this. Our next card is, what's my favorite song at the moment? And why do I love it so much? Oh, and then it says to play it. Oh, gosh. Well, I'm not going to be able to play the entire thing because we're going to get copywritten on YouTube. But I will link it in the show notes. And I'm going to play a little bit of it. But I've known this song for a long time, and I think it's a gospel song. Let's see. So it's a gospel song, and it's called "Open the Eyes of My Heart." And not recently, maybe like a couple months ago, a snippet from this video was going viral on social media, and I just heard it, and it immediately just sank into my spirit. And I do believe, I'm gonna be honest, like I do believe I'm in a place where I really need to dig deeper with my relationship with God. I really want to figure out his voice more in my life right now in this season that I'm in. I just really feel like I'm in like a drought as far as my relationship with him goes. But this song has been my favorite. And I don't know if I'm making through it without crying. I ain't even gonna lie, but it literally goes, and I can't sing, but it goes, silence the noise in my heart, Lord, and open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. That song. And it just speaks to me so deeply. I'm going to play a little bit of it.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Y'all, that song takes me there every time. If you would like to listen to the whole song, it is called Open the Eyes of My Heart, and this version is by Jordan G. Welch. There are a few different versions you can listen to, but that song has been speaking to me a lot in this season of life that I'm in because I feel like there is so much noise. And it's just getting to me right now in a sense of I can't really hear what God is trying to tell me or what God is trying to say to me, but it's my own fault because I have not been taking the time and doing the things that I know will put me in a space where I can hear him. And it's a very frustrating place to be in because I'm and I'm just I'm trying to this is still like this is a great question because I it's something that I'm still trying to unpack on my own, but I just need to dig deeper and I just need to deepen my relationship with God because I can't hear him and I have so many things going on, so many distractions. And the devil is the orchestrator of distractions. That is the way that he keeps you from God, and I know that. And I have been very distracted lately with all of the projects, my podcast, events, traveling, all of the things. And now my cup is feeling completely empty. And I know what I need to do. I just have to get out of this monotonous routine that I've created that has kept me from going that extra step and doing those things that make me feel closer to God. And I know exactly what they are. I just got to do them. But especially dealing with all of the rigmarole of living in LA, sometimes it does get hard and it's okay. And I'm learning how to stop beating myself up, especially growing up in the South, in the Bible Belt. I'm learning how to not beat myself up about not always being where I want to be in Christ. And our God is a forgiving God. Our God will love us no matter what. There's nothing that I can do to make him stop loving me. And I don't need to be beating myself up because I didn't read my Bible in a week, you know? So, to answer the question, open the eyes of my heart has been on my heart for a couple months now. And today I listened to Intentional by Travis Green, which is also a very, very good song. And I heard a snippet of it on TikTok and it just fell on my spirit to listen to the full song. So that's a good one too. It literally goes, all things are working for my good. He's intentional. I can't sing, y'all. Never failing. That song. I don't have to worry because it's working for me. That song. So that's what's been on my heart. Last one. Okay. It's just so crazy. Like I don't even want to do this card, but it's literally the one that came up. And I guess I'll just go ahead and keep it. But it's kind of like the first one. Um the first question that we had. So the our last question for today is, what expectation have I set on someone that has been hurting me the most? Now, I want to be like introspective. So, what is an expectation that I have set on myself that has been hurting me the most? What is an expectation? I mean, there are a few, but I think one of the biggest expectations that I've set on myself is that I would be well into my acting career by this point in my life. I would have a husband, maybe have a child by now. And I would be able to live bi-coastally, and not really coastally, but between LA and Louisiana and see my family a little more. And by that standard, I haven't accomplished any of that. Or I feel like I haven't accomplished any of that. I mean, obviously, I don't have a husband. I don't even have a boyfriend. I don't have a marriage. But the career thing, I have booked some great things as an actress, but I haven't booked a movie. I haven't, really made a name for myself. And it's frustrating sometimes. And sometimes I'm a little down. Sometimes I have doubts. I'm also still living in LA full time. And I go home a lot more often, which I'm grateful for. But I would like to go home a little more to spend more time with my family. And I don't know. I put these expectations on myself at a young age because I felt like, oh yeah, 7 years is enough time to do all of that. But also, maybe it's not. And God has the final say in the things that go on in all of our lives. And I am so grateful for everything that I have accomplished. I really am. I just wish that I could check more boxes that 15-year-old Tyra wrote down. And I think going through these milestone birthdays and saying to myself again, nope, still didn't do it. I feel let down. And I know that's 15-year-old me. It's not the Tyra that I am today because I've accomplished so much and I'm so grateful for everything that I've done. And I'm still so young. And I think more so than ever, we put so much pressure on ourselves. And I'm tired of putting the pressure on myself. And at this point, it's just time to live because you never know when the thing is going to happen for you, right? Like, yeah, I have this expectation and I could be right on the verge of a breakthrough. And that's why it's so important to just keep praising God, and it's so important to just keep on going and keep doing the things that you love in a healthy way because you literally never know when something is going to happen for you. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're doing the self work, make sure that you are spending time with yourself and taking care of yourself because misery loves company first and foremost, and there is a lot of misery in the world, and it's easy to fall into that. And I was just talking to a friend and she was like, I don't feel positive. I don't have no positivity to give. And I said, girl, I feel the same way. And that is a scary place to be in because you can teeter into a world where you self-destruct your life with your tongue. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And I try very hard to not say nothing if I ain't got nothing positive to say, especially when it's me saying things about myself because like I said, I am my own biggest advocate. I need to be my number one fan no matter who is around me, even though I have people around me and I'm so grateful for them, but this ain't nobody's life but mine. And I have to do the things to make sure that I am protecting the life that I have built no matter what type of season I'm in. And that's not to say that I can't go out and find other resources. Something that really helps to keep me grounded and helps to keep me sane is my hobbies. And we always talk about hobbies on the podcast, but they fill me with so much joy. And I always get so many compliments on my energy. Like people literally always say, you're just a ball of sunshine. I just love your energy. You're always bringing light into the room. Like every time, a lot of times it's at my gym. And a lot of people say, every time I'm in a workout with you, I just get so pumped and I'm just able to do so much more. Like I love your energy. And that is a compliment that I have just started getting. And when I realized that, I was like, wow, I have been doing the work. But that don't mean that I don't have days like this. And that's okay. I'm a human and there's a spectrum of emotions that I am grateful to be able to feel. But there are unrealistic expectations and things with timelines that I have put on myself that I am learning how to forgive myself for and learning how to release that feeling of being let down, because I didn't let myself down. Like I'm doing so good and I know that, but that doesn't knowing that doesn't negate feeling, and I have to feel and I have to process those feelings and I have to let them run their course in a healthy way. And that's what I'm going through right now. But moving forward, I don't think I have any unrealistic expectations on my life. My 20s have taught me so much about myself. I have lived so many different lives in my 20s. I went to college. I graduated from college. I moved to New Jersey. I went to culinary school. I experienced love. I experienced heartbreak. I moved to Los Angeles. I booked my first big role on TV. I booked national commercials. I moved into my dream apartment. I've been out in LA for 7 years and I have sustained myself comfortably. And that is not something that everyone is able to do. I travel the world. I still have my parents in my life. I have a support system. I have friends who love me. I've built community. I do things that I love every single day. I literally have this podcast. I have this community. I have all of you guys that have literally changed my life. I would have never expected to have a podcast like this. I would have never expected to be invited to speak on panels from a hobby podcast that I started during the pandemic. I didn't know my first audition ever in LA would land me on a hit Netflix original show starring Loretta Devine and Tia Mowry. I didn't know that show would go on to win NAACP awards. I didn't know. And even though my 20s have been so hard, there's not much that I would change. There's not much that I would change about my life. And I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for everything that I have been through, everything that I have experienced. Maybe not every single thing, but I'm grateful for all of the things that have helped me to become the person that I am, because I would like to say that I am a very well-rounded person and I'm good. I'm genuine. I'm a genuinely good person, and I love to love. I love to love the people around me. And as I close the chapter of my 20s and welcome the chapter of my 30s, I do it with open arms and an open mind. And I just look forward to all the things that God has for me. And I can honestly say that even though I'm freaking out right now, and you could probably hear it in my voice and see it on my face, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Uh-oh, y'all, you know what time it is. It is time for our fun closing segment. And today's fun closing segment is a recommendation of the day. Now, this recommendation of the day is a little different, and I think this is a great switch to our kind of very serious episode that we have just had. But today's recommendation is not really a thing. I mean, it is a thing. Let me just tell y'all. My recommendation of the day is that you take a trip with me outside of the country. Y'all, Affirmations for Black Girls is gearing up to have our first girls trip. And I'm shaking in my boots. I'm not even lying, but I'm super excited. So, as you know, this year has been filled with travels for me. I started the year in Hawaii, then I went to New York to see one of my line sisters. I went on my first cruise this year. I went to Napa for the first time, and I'm gearing up to go to Thailand for my 30th birthday in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh, Jesus, this is crazy. So, I have two recommendations for you. The first recommendation is one, that you go on a trip with Affirmations for Black Girls, but two, that you do it with our very first trip that we're doing, and it's hosted through Trova Trip. Now, this company reached out to me literally days after I was talking to a friend and saying, I'm so ready to have our first travel trip. I've been traveling so much this year. I really want to extend this to the Affirmations of Black Girls community. So, we don't know where we're going yet, but that is up to you guys. So with Trova Trip, they have a survey that I really, 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 really need y'all to fill out so we can gather information on where the trip should be, when the trip should be, and how much the trip should cost. Okay? None of that is set in stone now, and that is all up to you guys. So I have linked it down in the description box and in the show notes for you to go and fill out the survey. It's literally like 8 questions, I want to say, and we're trying to get some qualified, they call them qualified responses. You have to hit at least $2,000 for your budget to be considered a qualified response. Now, just like I said in one of the previous episodes, the trip does not have to cost that much, but in order for them to count your survey, you have to hit that $2,000 for the budget. Keep that in mind. So you guys, please, we're almost to the number that we need. So if you even think that you want to go on a trip one day, go ahead and fill that survey out. Like I said, it's only like 8 questions, probably less than that. You do have to be 18 or older to go. It doesn't matter how old you are. It can be, you could be fresh out of college. You could be, in your 40s and your 50s. I really want to go somewhere dope with a diverse group of women because I'm on my Eat, Pray, Love, and I really want to have like a Eat, Pray, Love trip. My goal is to get us to Europe, right? Maybe maybe travel to different countries in Europe while we're there, but please, I like, if y'all don't do nothing else on the podcast, please fill out this survey so we can go ahead and gather some data to see where y'all want to go. I want to go to Europe, but there's a lot of different places to choose from, and pick the ones that you want to. On there, it's going to ask you like where you want to go. You could pick more than one place, right? So fill that out and let me know. But that is my recommendation. But that is my recommendation of the day, to go on a girls trip with Affirmations for Black Girls. It'll be me and maybe some other people from the Affirmations for Black Girls team on the trip. But I'm super excited, and my heart is literally fluttering right now while I'm talking about this because I've never done anything like this before. But long story short, I hope to see you there. Now, with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening today. I know this episode was a little heavier. I don't know how the episodes are going to be up until my 30th birthday. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm having mixed emotions, and I'm experiencing emotions that I haven't felt in a long time. Like, honestly, since I graduated from high school, I haven't really felt like this. Like, not even college, I ain't feel like this. And I think it was because I went to culinary school after I graduated from my undergrad. But thank y'all for rocking with me. To be completely honest, thank you so much for allowing me to show up as my authentic self. Thank you for loving the podcast. Thank you for supporting the podcast, because without each and every one of you, we wouldn't be able to do a girls trip. I wouldn't be able to put out episodes every single week. Like, you guys are why this is possible, and I love y'all real bad for that. So thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button down below. If you're listening on your favorite podcast listening app, go ahead and follow the show. Leave us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. I love reading the reviews. They're so dope. And I love all of the emails that you guys send us as well. If you have a note for us, send it to affirmationsofblackgirls@gmail.com. And thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you for listening. I'll see you guys again next week. This is Affirmations for Black Girls.